This is Required Watching, where we watch the essential films from the list of cinematic influencers and look at them through the lens of learning about filmmaking and how to move forward. I'm your host, Trey Epps, and today we're talking about. Oh, actually, we do things differently now. This movie is directed by Mark Mylod, written by Seth Reese and Will Tracy. It stars Ralph Fiennes, Anya Taylor-Joy, Nicholas Hoult, and a whole host of other folks. This is the menu.
Is that gonna fit everyone?
Easily. 12 customers total.
How do they turn a profit?
$12.50 a head, that's how.
What are we eating, a Rolex?
It's one of his classics. You have to try the mouthfeel of the mignonette.
Please don't say mouthful.
Tonight will be madness.
Welcome. We'll endeavor to make your evening as pleasant as possible.
Welcome to Hawthorne.
Here we are family.
The menu is about a group of guests who are invited to a private island restaurant, Hawthorne, owned and operated by celebrity chef Julian Slovic. During dinner, the chef exposes each guest's personal secrets through laser-printed images on tortillas and the like, causing a panic among the guests. Jeremy, a sous chef, kills himself, and angel investor Doug Varick is drowned. The female guests dine with Catherine, an employee whom Slovic had sexually harassed and who suggested the guest's murder. Slovic humiliates Tyler, a foodie who brought an escort as his date, by forcing him to cook in front of everyone, then orders him to hang himself. Margot, the escort, is unmasked as Aaron and given a choice of dying with the guests or the staff. After Margot sneaks into Slovic's house, she finds a radio and calls for help. A Coast Guard officer arrives, but is revealed to be a line cook in disguise. As dessert is being prepared, Margot requests a cheeseburger and fries, which Slovic prepares with joy. Margot is allowed to leave and escape the island, watching the restaurant burn as she eats her cheeseburger. The guests and staff are killed when Slovic sets the restaurant on fire. Whew, boy, that's the menu. Now, I love celebrity chefs. I love watching cooking shows. Gordon Ramsay's my guy. The Bear is my show. I am in this life. I think restaurant culture, while I don't know restaurant culture as in working culture, like the voyeurism of restaurant culture, the shows, the whether it's factual or fiction or whatever documentary, it's something that I very much enjoy because in my own life, I really enjoy eating food. I wouldn't say I'm a foodie in the way that it is described in this film, but I'm someone who travels almost explicitly looking for really great food and really great culture. I'm someone who has 100% visited Michelin star restaurants. I'm very, very grateful for that. And I really enjoy being able to try the different combinations and different things that chefs put together, because I truly think that it's an art the same way that making films is an art. I truly think that what people do in the kitchen, even something as simple as amu rice, is truly incredible. It's truly, truly incredible. And just the way that different people do things and put things together is amazing. And while it's a science, but also can be completely changed, it blows my mind. So when coming into this film, I was very excited to talk about it. I was very excited to talk about to really understand what was going on in this film. And it's an adaptation. And I actually generally think the movie is pretty good. My criticism of the film is actually that it got lost. I feel like I got lost a bit in the characters and maybe the guests being like I wanted more of the characters, because we had like so many characters going on there, but I also wanted Hong Cho is in here. Hong Chow is in here, and she's incredible, and I wanted more of her, and I think she's fucking incredible and amazing, and I think we need to see more of her in things. I know she's also in The Whale, but she's so good. And John Leguizamo's in that, so it's like I wanted to know these people a bit more, and I feel like we got rushed through it for what I thought would be a bigger reveal than what it was. I didn't feel like I came to any conclusion and went, this is why this is happening. I knew, and by that I don't mean, Ralph Fiennes' character, Slovak, had a wonderful motivation that I saw up front. I think all of that makes sense. It's it's Chef Ramsay going wrong, right? It's all of those things. It's being disrespected as a chef. But I want to live with these characters a bit more. I feel like there's so many weird things or jarring things that happen in this movie that isn't being called out by the guests. And I'm just not sure I'm not sure if I understand their motivation for staying and being burned alive. Maybe they just all felt like they didn't have a choice, but there's so many characters for them to not feel. Anyways, yeah, I really love also. It was subtle and it was secrets, and I know that kind of contrasts with what I just said, but it felt like I was given these little morsels of what was going to happen. And a script editor friend of mine told me something of like, in terms of writing, of like every character should have a secret that they're not saying. They're obviously not saying it would be a secret, but every character should have a secret. And I found that to be really, really interesting, especially watching this film where everyone had a secret. We don't know these characters at all. All we get to do is see them at this present moment, and they all have these really rich histories, which leads me to wanting to know more. And maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe I'm not meant to know more, but I felt a bit unsatisfied by that bit. But yeah, obviously the acting was incredible and everything else. I'm actually going to leave this one pretty short, but before I do, let me give you some fun facts. The entire kitchen team were trained to actually create the dishes broken down station by station, so that if at any time you look at them, they're doing the correct thing that they should be doing for that dish in real life, and not just for the movie. From the beginning, Margot shows that she has a true appreciation for food that the wealthier clients have lost in the spectacle. She mentions that she enjoys a simple oyster instead of oysters with all the show, showing that her palate isn't the issue. The loveless, over-the-top food is. Much of Margot and Tyler's early conversations take on an entirely different meaning when it's revealed that they're not a couple and Margot is an escort he hired. From Margot cheerfully commenting that Tyler is paying for it, not just a meal, as they initially implied, to Tyler lamenting that he hadn't spent time with women like Margot before. Their dialogue is peppered with double meanings and foreshadowing. The script features an alternate ending where a crew of firefighters and investigators walk through the burnt wreckage of the night, and behind a sealed fireproof door finds Slovak smiling, severed head on a platter, and his severed hands holding up the titular menu, which I think is gorier, but probably costs a lot, but amazing. Yeah, I laid out a lot of my issues with the menu up front. I think, again, the acting was great. I could have done with a little bit more. I don't know. I don't know what I would have taken out. I don't know how I would have not making this 3 hours, but maybe I just didn't feel very connected to the characters, which is unfortunate, but I do love this film. That said, I don't think it's recommended. I don't think it's a required watch unless you have a whole host of characters that you're putting in that we need to kind of share this perspective and equal weight to. There are a lot of really, really great moments that have this, that have, that really show and display what and how to shift these perspectives and these goals and what's at stake. A lot of this is essentially in one room, and we get a lot of perspective shifting, and I think that's always really hard to write, let alone shoot. Let alone have an audience like me understand. And I do think this film is expertly made and had a really, really great run at it. So if you are going to check it out, just keep your eyes open for that. Anyways, that's all. Thank you so much for listening and checking this out. If you enjoyed this, like, share it with your friends, etc. Are you subscribed? You should subscribe. You should subscribe. you should subscribe. And also make sure you leave some recommendations for what I should be watching next. Anime, Indian films, African films, like, I don't know, expressionist films. What should I be watching? Even TV. And yeah. And if you're interested, let's talk about having a watch party soon. I'm interested in just to see who thinks a watch party would be something that's really interesting, where we just have live reactions to what's going on. That said, thank you so much, and until next week, peace out.
I think it's originality. I'm insufferable to watch a movie with or a TV show with because I'm constantly guessing lines, guessing storylines. I'm like, that person's going to die. Like, this is going to happen at this point. They're going to figure out that the power is love. Luckily, my partner enjoys it. No one else really does. And when I was reading this script, I could not tell you what was going to happen next. And the ending I definitely did not get. And I wanted to be a part of it.